And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Laura for our session on reporting.
All right. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me?
Hear you fine.
Great. Okay.
And I'll monitor the chat pod for you.
Perfect. I appreciate it.
Yep.
So today we are going to just touch on standard reports versus custom reports for a few minutes. We're going to talk about how to get to reports, and then a majority of our time is going to be spent with a live demo. I'll go into the portal. I'll look at custom reports and standard reports just a little bit with you guys. And then pull up an AEL grantee transcript report, export it to Excel, and we'll take a look at how you can filter the data in Excel so that you can use it for narrowing down your PD portal or your PD needs for the rest of the program year. So, to get reports. So, the PD portal has a lot of capability to show you the data, to organize it, to filter it. It's really just a matter of figuring out which report and how to filter it so that it shows what you want. Before we get with reports, I just want to remind you guys that if you're unsure of what the training requirements are for different AEL faculty members, so teachers versus data clerks versus assistants, all of that's available in the AEL guide. And I put a path down here on the bottom of this slide for how to find that. We do it on our TCAL webpage. So if you go to tcall.tamu.edu, click by that says Program Managers, and scroll down and you'll see it says Texas AEL Guide. The icon up here, or the picture, off-white one that I have, that's what it'll look like on the web page. That's what you're looking for. Deb, could you maybe grab the link to that and throw it in the chat pod?
I sure.
Thank you, ma'am. So standard reports, I don't know how many people have played around with these or explored all, but if you have a manager or approver or PD portal role, PDinator role in the portal, you have access to both standard and custom reports. Going through this today, if you find that you don't have access to these, go ahead and just shoot me an email, or you can let us know in the pod, the chat pod. I know that Deb monitoring that. We can get a list of names and we can update persons and stuff as we need to. So standard reports, the really nice thing about the standard reports is that someone else has already made them, and it's pretty easy to go into the portal and open up and get data. The side of the standard reports that you can't really edit the search parameters. The standard reports that we'll look at in a few minutes, you'll see that some just show you the data. Some of them give you a little bit of wiggle room with if you're looking for a specific training or a specific portal user, but you can't change search parameters that much. I've put a path to standard reports at the bottom of this slide within the portal over reports, and then you'll see a drop-down menu where you can click on standard reports. The polar opposite of standard reports are the custom reports. So where you can't really change the search parameters of a standard report, the search parameters on a custom report are it's really, you can do a lot to find the data. You can also share reports that you've created with other PD portal users, which is an upside of the custom reports. But the downside is that because they're so with their search parameters, it can be challenging to make sure that you're using the correct terminology, get the data that you're searching for, and it can also be pretty overwhelming. I know I've been working with standard reports for a couple of custom reports for a couple of months now. I'm just now feeling comfortable with kind of creating ones on my own. And then another downside is that if someone shares a report with you, you cannot get that without copying it. And then if you copy it and tweak the search parameters, then there might be inconsistency between the data that you're pulling and the other person is pulling who shared that report with you. So get a path down here from the portal, hover over reports, and then drop down menu, you'll click on custom reports. And does any questions or comments before I go ahead and open up the portal and share my screen?
Anything yet? The only other thing, and you're probably going to mention it when you go live, one of the things that I've realized in the portal is when on a page, whether it's the custom report page or standard report or whatever, transcript, if I go top right where my, my picture is and it has that little gear like the account stuff, show how they can click on help and it brings them to a page that does exactly what they can do too.
Yep.
Okay.
All right, so I am going to log in. I'm actually going to log into a different account to get us started. What it's talking about is up here to the picture, there's this gear shift looking icon. If you click on help, what's going to open up Cornerstone Online Help. So Cornerstone is like the mother company. They are the company that provides the LMS to us, and then we adapt LMS kind of to our needs. But anyway, so Cornerstone, it'll take you to this page that has online help. It's just their, it's kind of their welcome page overview. I want to, let's say, and I'm taking a detour here for a minute. Let's say I click on the training calendar. I'm going to hover help, and now the online help takes me directly to a page where it's going to talk about the events calendar. So the really cool thing about this online help section is that wherever you're in the PD portal, when you click help, it's going to take you to the corresponding help section of their online help center. You can search up here in the top right corner for a specific topic. They have contents and index over here where you can kind of around for information as well. So step there, but that's one that's pretty handy, and I think it's one of those lesser known resources that's out there. Again, we're going to start with standard reports here. The path for standard reports is to hover over reports, click standard reports. It's going to take you to a page that looks like this. Now, the thing that I've started saying about the PD portal when I'm speaking to large groups is that what you see exactly is going to vary a little bit depending on the role and the securities and the permissions that you have in the portal. So my page is showing right here might not be exactly the same as what your page might show, just depending on how this account permissions compare to your account's permissions. But all in all, so this particular account has both the manager and approver role. So if you have either of those two, you should see both these reports as well. So here in the standard reports, we've got, it looks like 8 or 9 different standard reports specific to tracking employees. You can click on transcripts, and this is what I said, it's just going to kind of bring up a list of information for you. If you go and click View Transcript, it should take you directly to their page. I want to go back. I'll go back. Another I wanted to show was the, where did it go? Training status summary. The training status summary is one that's one of the standard reports that I think could be pretty useful for you guys. This is one where you can see where your teachers are at with any and all training that's on their transcript. So training that's requested, that's training that's in progress. If you've archived or if they've archived it, down here you can include training that was removed from transcript import, and you see completed training as well. For this one, you would identify your date for your, so if I'm looking at this program year, I might say July, click here, 2016, July 1st. There we go. So July 1st, 2017. I'm going to here. Now just click on today's date. So all of the for this premiere for those folks who are on my team. I'm going to come up here and I'm going to uncheck most of these. I want to see curriculums, which are the online courses. I also want to see the sessions, which are going to be the face-to-face events that they've attended. So I'm deselecting everything else, and then to see what they have archived. I do all training as opposed to just training that's been assigned to them, and I'm not concerned about what's been removed, so I'm not going to select that. I'll click search. Now I have a whole lot of direct subordinates under me, so I don't see a whole lot of data, but this just gives you an idea of what that data is going to look like. So it's got the 2 people who are into my team. A key down here is going to show you how many items are registered, in progress, past due. And scroll down here and it's going to show me a list of the items that these 2 folks have either completed, in progress, or registered for. I can click here to get more information. The real thing about reports in the PD portal is that I've yet to find one that is not export. I don't know if that's a real word. I cannot export to Excel. So here I can click export. It's going to do it down here. Click it to open it up. If you're an Excel person, if that's how your brain works, you like to do, that's how you like your data to be organized, and that's good for you because everything will export out to Excel. Close that. And it can also print it directly from this page right here as well. That is one of the standard reports that I would find particularly useful. You are welcome to go in, look at what reports are available, standard reports are available to you. Go take a look, dig around, play with them. You're not going to break anything if you go in and run some of these reports. There are performance reports in here as well. I don't think that's a feature we're utilizing right now, but it just might be something to keep in the back of your mind and available to you in the PD portal. I'm going to pause for a second. Deb, was there anything about standard reports that we need to address?
I'm just working with some folks that don't have that tab access right now, so we're going to have to do some delegating and stuff, but no one's posted anything. Now, Pam's asking, what is ILT?
So ILT stands for Instructor-Led Training, which is really just our face-to-face sessions.
That's the only question.
Okay. Let's go to custom reports then. So I'm sorry, I'll start over here. So I'm at the home page. The path is to hover over reports and then custom. And I need to switch accounts again real quick. All right, sorry about that. So reports, custom. Okay, so depending on how many reports you have created and how many reports have been shared with you, this is going to look very different. So you might have 3 reports on your landing page here, whereas your the person sitting at the computer next to you might have 50. It just really depends on how much you've played with this and how much you've had colleagues share reports with you. If you have a lot of reports, so like me personally, this is too busy for me. That's a lot, and I have trouble kind of visually organizing that. So for me, it's really helpful that I can create folders over on the left. Now, it's not going to clean this page right here up, but it does allow me to go to them and then I can see just those reports that I've designated to be a folder. Here, I create transcript reports for all Core 34 grantees as well as the HGAC. So I have about 40, I think, just for the EL transcripts. I divided them up over here by the field specialists. That just, for me, makes it a little bit more, it makes it easier visually for me. Ways that you can kind of filter what you're seeing on this page right here is dropped in right here. It says all reports. If I want to see what's been shared with me, I would click on that. I can say creator that there's nothing over here that has my name on it anymore. I can click in, and instead of shared with me, I can see what's been created by me.
Oh, excuse me.
Nope, go ahead.
I was just going to say, I do have a couple of questions. The first one is in regards to the standard reports. Catherine was asking what's the difference between training status summary and transcripts. And Catherine, the training status summary just shows you how many courses that they've taken or attended. And the transcripts, actually, you can click on it and see their entire transcript. So, it's, you know, the status summary doesn't really give you a lot of information, to be honest with you. But TRIPS does. It'll be their exact transcript, what's on there, the courses, when they did them. Asking, how do you move those into a folder? So, like, mine looks really messy, but you've got yours organized. So how did you do that? Why don't you step through that again?
Let me think about that for a second. So there's all different ways you can do that. From here, from this landing page, I can click new folder. And over here to the left, it gives me the option to create a folder. So I might just say folder. From here, now let me think about this. Yes, so you could click drag into.
Oh, that's nice.
See that it's in there. Option. So if I go back here, and you edit something, if you've had a report shared with you, you're not going to have the ability to edit it. But if you copied it and made a new one, you would be the author and you would be able to edit it. And so from up here, when you're editing it, yes, this drop down right here is where you can select which folder it goes into. So I can just select test folder, up click save. If you want here, a little message up that said your information has been saved, so now I can close it safely. If you hit close before it's actually saved, it'll prompt you. It'll give you a little warning message to let you know that you need to hang tight for a minute. So yeah, you can see that they're in there now. And they on this home page right here, but clicking on folders just kind of lets you see more, a little bit more organized. Okay. Lost my train of thought there. Okay, yeah, so again, when you click on this one over here, you have some different options for how to filter it. You can click on the drop-down menu here. Some different options for how to filter it. So when it says ran anytime, that means that new data has been pulled and updated. So if you want to know what's running right now, you can click on that, and I see that I don't have anything currently processing. If I want to see what I ran in the past hour, I'll click. This is the one I just ran a few minutes ago. Forth and so on. One ran in the past 24 hours. There's a handful more in the past week.
Now, Catherine's got a message. When she selects transcripts, I'm able to see a ridiculous amount of employees from all over Texas, not my subordinates. Is that correct?
No, that is correct.
That's not supposed to be correct.
And that's something that I noticed, Deb, on Saturday at my training with someone, and I just had not had the chance to dig into that yet.
Okay.
So.
Oh, no, that's not what you're supposed to do.
We'll get
No,
fixed.
I'm not talking about. You're not supposed to be able to see everybody.
Yeah.
I'm making the note right now.
Yes, thank you.
Everybody.
Mhm.
Holy moly.
Yeah, so if you see a whole bunch of people you shouldn't see, just hang tight and we'll get figured out. And I think that really only applies with the standard reports. The reports that I created and I'm going to share with you guys, show you in a few minutes here, those are filtered to only show you your AEL grantee, so your program right there.
Interesting.
Yeah, I know. It was one of those where I went, I can't do this.
Oh, she's saying she can't, even though she can see them,
Yep.
she can't access them. It says denied.
Yep.
They're going to let you, hold on. Let me come up to you. When you try to click on it, when you click the view, where it says view transcript, it lets you?
It'll say denied.
Okay, okay.
But, like,
find somebody at your location and see if you can do that.
I'm able to search for them, so I'm having to go through pages and pages of people.
Okay. That's interesting.
My people
Okay, that's okay. Okay, we're a note of it.
I'm looking for one of my people now to see if I'm able to access theirs.
Okay, would you put in the chat pod if you do?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Okay. I love talking to Catherine because I can always hear her kiddos in the background. It reminds me of my own two stinkers. So, another, when you're looking at this homepage, this landing page right here, that you can kind of filter, sort things. The menu up here, title, type, creator, folder, last one. If you click on these, you'll notice you get a little arrow here. Just how it is being shown, whether it's ascending or descending in terms of numbers or alphabet.
Dimitri had a question. When you refresh a report that has been shared with you, do you lose the original report? It refreshes the information. If you're someone that wants to keep over a period of time, I would say rename it with that date, and then that way when you refresh it, you can rename it as a new date. Looking at these, they're all sending it privately. Mine was by Laura, but it's showing, I think, everyone in HGAC. Yeah, we're going to have to work on that.
So going back to Demetria's question, so you have found triangle next to a report. History. Well, that example because it doesn't have multiple. Let's see if this one works. It'll show you the last 2 times it's been run, and then from here you can do the same thing. You can print it, export it to Excel or text document, which I did earlier today. I would not recommend it because it is a hot mess. Stick to Excel. Able to, Catherine says. Okay. Only before we jump into the report that we're going to spend the rest of the time looking at today, you can search. So again, if you end up having a whole bunch of reports that have been shared with you, and I know that I just need a report for, let's say, a report for Workforce Solutions of Tarrant County that I know someone shared with me. I can't find it. I search by a keyword up here in the bar. It's going to search reports according to the title. It's not going to search by information over here, type or creator. It's just looking at the title, and it'll show me the reports that have this word in the. This is a way to kind of narrow down your search. If you'd like a step-by-step on how to create a custom report, Cornerstone has this really neat feature where it says show me, and if you click it, it's going to give you step-by-step. So it'll say click new drop-down menu, and you click it, and if you pick things, see it says select the report type. I wanted to make a user report. I would click on that. And here you'll see it's going to prompt you through creating your report with these black boxes. And I tried to click off of it, and it kind of shakes at me because it wanted to do this first before I move on. Again, if you want to get in and just kind of start playing with these to get familiar, then this would be a great little resource right here, as well as hovering over this gear shift in the top right corner and clicking help, because that's going to take you to a page that's specific to these custom reports. So I'm going to go back to my custom reports. I'm going to open up at the AEL Grantee Transcript Report Denton ISD today. And so you'll hear it's got I've got it in Chris' folder because she's the field specialist for that. And then it was last run. So I was editing this afternoon, and so those that this was processed and run just this afternoon on the 23rd. Now, as far as what you're looking for when you're looking for one of these reports, again, I created reports for all the AEL grantees and then the HGAC subrecipients. And I did those with the, let me think about this, field specialists, the coordinators, and the program directors. So if anyone else in your program, like a leader who is in charge of a team or data entry clerk, someone else who needs to see this, let me know, and it's easy to share these reports out, and I'd be happy to do it.
Hey, Laura, did we have you share that with the program support specialist at WC?
No, I did not do that. I can't.
Okay.
It was one of those in the back of my mind. I needed to go back and do
Yeah,
that.
I'm going to make a note. Let's make sure that we do that too.
Okay. So again, I'm looking at Denton ISD today. Since I just did this afternoon, I'll do that, but I'll show you how you would. This up some triangle right here, down here where it says refresh, you would just refresh it. I was refreshing because it would say processing right here under last run, just like that one did earlier after I edited it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to export it to Excel so that we can talk about how the data can be viewed and filtered within Excel. It's going to pop up, or had a pop up, and then it's going to bring it down here. It's going to download it in the bottom. I'll click on open it. Before I do anything with it, up here, this yellow bar, I want to make sure I click enable editing. That's going to apply some filters and manipulate the data a little bit. Okay, so let me see if I can make this a little bigger. All right. So from here, you'll notice at the top, right here, there's some information. This is really showing you the details of the report. So the total, who did it, the last, when data was pulled, show you the filters. So these reports that I've created for you guys, they are pulling data for curriculums. So again, your online trainings and face-to-face training sessions. These pulling curriculums that are completed. So anything in progress on someone's transcript, it's not going to show up on these because I've set a filter where it has to be completed. And it's been completed, you'll see here, within this program year. So complete after July 1st, 2017 for June 30th, 2018. And the reason I've got that forward date on there is because you can go in tomorrow and refresh this data. You can go this week, you can go all the way until June 30th, and you really do want to do that. You want to go in and refresh it every time and export it, because as your teachers are working through stuff, these reports are going to change. They're going to update according to what's been completed. Here you'll be able to see AEL grantee. This has been filtered to provide information for. So if you start looking and it looks like you've got all the wrong people, take a look up here and make sure that the correct AEL grantee has been selected. If not, let me know. Again, I worked on about 45 of these, so disclaimer, I'm sure there's a mistake in there somewhere. So just let me know and I'll get it fixed for you guys. So information is just kind of there as an FYI for you. What we want to do is we want to filter. We want to apply some filters to this report. So I go over here next to this right here. Then when I see that sideways arrow, I'm going to click on it. It's going to select the whole line. And then up here to the top right, sort and filter. Click. Right where it says filter. I'm going to click on filter. What it's going to allow me to do is it's going to allow me to identify what information I want to see in columns below. Seeing everything. And look at that in a minute. Right on that one. I skipped over something. So let's look at these the columns and words that have been bolded. Grant summary 884. What that's a summary that at Denton ISD they have completed 884 professional development courses. It includes, again, your curriculums, your online curriculums, as well as your face-to-face sessions. If you go to our right here, where it says some PD hours, I'm going to make that a little bigger. Hours, that's how many hours total they did. So, Denton ISD, they've completed 1,873.5 professional development hours this program year. It's pretty awesome. Now, if you see here, this name is bold. So Leslie's name is bold. It says 4, and then you see 1, 2, 3, 4 times under there. Her name appears. You've got different titles. You've got your PD category. So what this is telling me right here is that Leslie has completed 4 training items in the PD portal. Far right, go to the far right, here hours have been earned. So you see, you know, the folks who have completed 1 training course all the way down to, you know, this person right here has 12 training courses that they've completed. And if you just keep scrolling through, you can see the variation in how much has been completed. So right here, this number, these bold items, can kind of give you a really easy visual for who you need to take a closer look at. So those folks who don't have much, you know, they have 1 or 2, or maybe they only have, 9 or 7 or 6 hours. Those are the folks you probably really want to flag and start to contact so they have plenty of time to get the end before the end of the program year. Yes, ma'am?
Could you please close that and go back and show them how to get that again?
How to export it?
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to close it. I'm going to say no because I know that I'm going to open it back up. But if you wanted to save it, this is where you would do that right here. All right. So again, I'm back in my landing page for custom reports. So reports and then custom, that'll be there. The report I want, in this case, Denton ISD, and I'm at the far right. This triangle here is this is your menu of options that you have for this course. So I'm going to point something out real quick that I forgot to mention earlier. I'm going to go back here. I drop-down menu for a report that has not been created by me. So for instance, this one by Steven. I have 7 options. I can view, I can export it, print it, I can see the history, copy it, and refresh it. When I report that I've created, I have more options. I view, export it, print, see the history. But right here, I can edit it which change the search filters, or if done with it, I could delete it. So in this case, I want to get it to Excel. So up, down, triangle, Excel. I'll get down here into my download bar. I'll click. Open. And from here, I want to enable editing so I can work with the data and the information. I'll click line 11 right here. I want to make sure that I filter this information. I apply filters so that I can filter it. I was trying to think of a different way to say that. All right, so we've talked about what the bold words and words mean. One of the filters that I placed on this particular report, you guys, was to summarize by name. So again, that's why here you'll see a bold name on top of their other coursework. You can see PD category for each course that they've taken. We go through, disclaimer, go through with a fine comb our end and make sure that we've got PD categories assigned with everything. If you find anything that's missing a P category, send an email. We'll get that updated as quickly as possible. So your P category, whether it's a face-to-face session or an online curriculum, how many hours that particular training was worth. So this here, technical, it's an online session. It's the literacy instruction PD category. It's 1 hour of PD. And if I go to the far here, when this was completed, it'll be the date and the time of completion. Okay, so from here, what we're going to take a look at is how we can use these filters to show different information. The one that I think is going to be the most useful is to sort by training title. So this up-down triangle here, it means some search filters specific to training title. I could sort it ascending or descending. I could identify some custom filters if I wanted to, but I really don't need to get that fancy today. I really just want to pick out some specific courses that to have taken. So I'm going to start by deselecting everything. And I want to know who has fulfilled goal-driven learning. So I'm going to go through here, goal-driven learning attunement. I'll select that.
Do you have to select all the whole graph or just that one column when you
just
sort?
This one.
Oh, okay.
I'll scroll down to the G's, goal-driven, and this one right here, just an FYI, it says inactive because it's inactive in the PD portal, but if they've completed it, they get that credit. They get those PD hours. Oops, I've moved too fast. So as I selected the courses that I wanted, the goal-driven learning, and I clicked OK. What it did was that filtered everything else out. See here are the names of the people who have completed these courses, this course. I can see over here, if it's the attunement, it was worth half an hour. If it was a whole course, it was worth hours. I'm not sure if there are any programs out there who have offered this as a face-to-face training, but if there are, then this would say session or curriculum over here.
Yeah, it would say session if it was a face-to-face.
Right,
yeah,
right.
But back down, and I'm having a chat question, so I don't know if you've talked about it. That inactive piece, did you talk about that already? Okay.
I mentioned that, yeah.
Okay, sure.
And again, over here, date and time that it was completed. All right. When I put that information, if I hit the reset button, I'm going to go back up here. You'll notice that on training title, I've got that filter, and that just reminds me, and that's a visual reminder, that I've got a filter on this particular information right here. So I have that off, so I'm going to click on it, and right here it says clear filter from training title. I'll click, and that's basically just a big giant reset button. So now I see everyone and everything again. The other you might want to sort by, the other requests are the PI course. And I'm going to click the down triangle, select all. I'm going to click on that so it deselects everything. And then find out who is in their PII course. So I'm going to set out and find it. There we go. PI 2017-2018, PI training. And I think I remember from when I was earlier that there's one more. Nope, it's not. Okay. Uh-oh, I had to start over. Sorry about that. Scroll down. PI, and click OK. And again, that's going to filter everything else out. Anything that I see now are the names of the folks who have completed their PII training for this program year.
Oh, that's a good comment.
What's that?
You had to enable editing.
Yes.
So, you know, that little box that shows up at the top of the Excel spreadsheet in order to do any filtering and do fun stuff. Yep.
Yep. Absolutely. I'm for a second and see what I have forgotten to mention. Deb, can you think of anything that I've overlooked thus far?
No, not really. You know, just where you have those filters that, you know, you can filter by the date. So this particular report is just for this grant year. But if you wanted something over a period of, you know, 2 or 3 years, you could do it that way. Looking at a chat mess, my report doesn't have the drop-down menu for the category items. It's training title.
Did you add the filter?
I don't know. Hold on. She's on. Liz, can you explain what you're talking about?
So, in trying to follow along with what you're doing, I opened up my own custom report, and so I enabled the editing, and I'm looking at my AEL grantee report, but in line 11, where you use your full name, PD category, training title, I don't have that upside down arrow that you're using to filter categories. So I was wondering, maybe did I need to click on something else?
No, she could. Yeah, I don't know if she mentioned that. Go ahead and show them how to filter that.
Yes. So what you'll do, Liz, is right here on line 11, when you see your cursor turn into that sideways arrow, so that it selects the whole line.
Okay.
And then here on the top right, there's a button that says Sort and Filter.
Okay.
Click on that, and this filter one right here.
Well, I'll try that.
All right.
Thanks.
Absolutely. You had said these particular reports have been, the filter in the PD portal has been set to only show the data for this program year. So starting July 1st, 2017, and it's going to go all the way to June 30th, 2018. Because then what your report looks like today is not necessarily what it's going to look like tomorrow, especially if you have a more active group of people who are trying to get their PD taken care of. But if there was a reason you wanted further back, you can contact me. I can create a new report or adjust some filters. But then additionally, just in moving forward, once the new program or once the program year turns over, so sometime in early July, I'll go into these reports for you guys, and I'll change the search parameter so that so you have this same report, but instead of producing 2017, 2018 data, we'll update it so that now you're getting your 2018, 2019 data. So you guys can really hit the ground running this coming year with having these reports in hand and being able to monitor what professional development has been taken care of in the professional development portal.
So a question from Sharon, a very good question about, so her first question was, how come I have so many things in Teams and so many, like I had 40 hours of something in Teams but only 30 hours in the portal? And the reason that could be is because you might have done some local program and professional development, and since done at the local program level, we don't know training you do, or how many hours it is. So that's where we have that add external training option. Every transcript, and as I mentioned to Sharon, if you have some time, we can either do a short how do I at another time how to do that. We have already as a how-to video. But it's very simple. You just have to have them grab either the agenda or the document, something they've got to load into their transcript as an external training, and that's how it'll get everything on their transcript. Sharon, does that make sense now? And anybody, if you have any questions?
I like Tracy's comment. She said the PD portal and Teams do not talk to each other.
Yes, true.
Right,
Yeah.
and they don't. And Sharon, I know in Dallas y'all have done a lot, as Deb described, a lot of internal trainings. They wouldn't be reflected here.
This is Sharon Moss at BB.
Oh, it's Sharon Moss. Okay,
yeah.
Sorry about that, Sharon.
That's okay.
But anyway, so they don't talk to each other. So way to cross-check and make sure.
Yeah.
Done things in the portal, you can get them into Teams, and it's the official credit, if you will, the official report that the monitors will look at is your Teams report.
Yeah. Beth has a question. Does this custom report include external training? I don't know that we added that as a filter.
No,
so
not.
That's why we have all you big people on the webinar. And that down. Then somebody else, hold on, I just checked the transcript of an employee in our program and clicked it with the customer report, and there's a discrepancy. His transcript states he had 1 hour, but the customer report says he has 4.5. That's very interesting. Narvez.
Okay. Uh-oh, sound is gone. Okay.
And we'll get with you on that.
That's one.
Contact us after the webinar so we can see. Well, you can't listen. You can't hear us. I'm going to put it in the chat pod.
Okay. And guys, it's like I've been working with these for a couple of months now, and I also was working with a high volume of them over the past couple of weeks. So if you find discrepancies, if you find problems, by all means, let me know so I can get it updated and
Yeah, fine.
Okay. There's a couple people, we missed some of that. Okay, I'll back up. I was saying that it's still fairly new to reports and kind of learning my way around, and then I've been working with such a high volume of them over the past couple of weeks that there are no promises there are not mistakes in them. So if you find a mistake or a discrepancy, like Catherine did, send me an email, because sometimes it just takes a little digging on my part to figure out where the misstep. So to dig into yours, Catherine, though. So on that's really the bulk of what I had about reports. The goal for today was to really show you guys how you can get the report from the PD portal, and then get it into Excel and be able to filter it a little bit. If you guys would be interested, creating a custom report, that's a whole nother beast. I'd be happy to put together a webinar for that if there was enough interest, or just talk with people individually on WebEx if necessary. But today's goal was really to show you guys the reports that have been created.
You know, what we'd like for you to do, I do have a list of some folks that I need to check on permissions. I have Blanca, Linda, and I apologize for the person, Yafe, Blevins, and I've helped Angela and Christy. I'm helping you on getting you access to your reports. Those other folks, if you would please run your report and take a look at it and see if maybe like Sharon has done, check it against Teams to see what might be missing. Because do this now to give time to make sure it's correct before we end the grant year. So please let us know discrepancies like Laura mentioned.
And I will, if you guys will give me this afternoon and into tomorrow, I'll go into all the reports and add the filter for so that external trainings are included in showing up. One addition I'll make to it.
Pam has a question. Can we add training or sessions that are not completed? What would that field be? And I think it's training status equals and then completed or incomplete.
So that Pam Resser?
Resser, yes.
Okay. Pam, so yeah, what we could do is I could do the report. Right now it's filtered to just show completed courses. So I could take that out, all courses, but then I could have it sort some by, you know, perhaps your completed sessions are at the top of the report and your in progress sessions are at the bottom of your report. I'll talk with you, Pam, and find out a little bit more about what you're wanting if you'd like.
Perfect.
Alrighty.
Does anybody else have any other questions? Have you found this to be helpful? I'm trying to the end of the year. Trying to make your job easier and making sure that your deliverables are done, that your folks have gotten the required PD, and try to make it as easy for you as possible. So if anyone doesn't have any questions, we are recording this, and we'll have it posted in the next couple of days in the PD Coordinator community of practice. And I'm sorry, I'm reading some of the private chat messages. Do you have anything else that you want to share?
I think that covers what the issues for today were. So thanks everyone for coming out. I know that this was an extra hour of time spent, but hopefully you'll find it was an extra hour of time spent that's well worth it, as you guys can use information to help everyone finish strong.
Well, thank you very much. You guys have a good day, and let us know how we can help you any further. Good job.
Thank you. And Tria, I'm going to hang back, so if you want to hang on too, you're welcome to stay.
Boy, you said that. I was about to end the meeting.
You probably want to stop recording it. But...
I am. Hold on.